Are their loved ones more deserving of an airbag?
A holy investigation, a homeowner's hell, and Dominique comes out of hiding. Hi, everybody. I'm Maureen O'Boyle, and this is Extra.
The Pope is headed to America, but his trip isn't the only issue getting the church's attention. Can this teenager really perform miracles?
People want to believe in miracles.
Tonight, investigating Audrey, why believers call her a saint, and why her case just got even more baffling. This is how we last saw Dominique Moceanu, a teen runaway seeking a divorce from her parents.
I didn't gain anything from doing this.
Exclusive, Dominique on the record about her father, what's left of her fortune, and the future. They love them like children. Now the Johnsons have to choose between their beloved pups and their homeowner's insurance.
We got a letter in the mail saying that our insurance was being canceled because we had what they said were vicious or protective dogs.
Is this doggy discrimination? And could it happen to you? He's 4'4". His chips and salsa bit is a hit.
Now this is fun.
But some people think his restaurant routine is in bad taste.
My first comment was, this is barbaric, it's exploiting, and it's a bit disgusting.
Plus, hungry sharks, raging bulls, and fashions that'll heat up your winter weekend. This is the weekend edition of Extra. Now, here's Maureen O'Boyle.
Thanks for joining us. We begin with the Pope's visit to America and a phenomenon the Catholic Church has been investigating for thousands of years, miracles. While the pontiff tends to the faithful in St. Louis, the Archdiocese of Worcester, Massachusetts is examining claims that a teenaged girl is a modern-day saint with extraordinary powers. Even the investigators admit what they're finding in this case is baffling. Here's Suzanne Rico.
From sightings of the Virgin Mary to statues that weep blood and sacred pictures that come alive. For hundreds of years, believers have flocked to witness so-called supernatural occurrences. Now, the Catholic Church, which tries to separate the holy from the hoax, is focusing its attention on this young woman, who many say performs miracles.
It's certainly not normal. Is it miraculous, or is it someplace in between, maybe something paranormal?
Bishop Daniel Riley is part of the investigative team looking into the case of 15-year-old Audrey Santo, who is to many a modern-day saint. Her mere presence drew thousands of believers, some of them priests and nuns, to this Massachusetts stadium, all hoping to see something supernatural.
People want to believe in miracles.
Audrey has been in a coma-like state for 11 years after nearly drowning. That's when visitors began noticing strange happenings around her, like a statue said to ooze oil, a strange red substance dripping from religious figurines, a colored light hovering above her. Audrey's father, Steve Santo, claims his daughter has cured a young girl with multiple sclerosis and a boy who was severely injured in a motorcycle accident. For the skeptics, he offers this.
For those who believe, no explanation is needed. For those who don't believe, there's no explanation good enough.
For years, the church ignored Audrey's case, but the extraordinary attention it generated prompted the diocese to send investigators in. Among them, psychologists Dr. John Madonna and Dr. Robert Ciatone, who spent a night inside the Santo home, searching for evidence Audrey's so-called powers might be rigged. First, was it really blood dripping from the figurines?
The data suggested it was indeed human blood.
But whose blood was it?
Its type does not match anybody in the family.
As for that oil on the Virgin Mary,
the oil was said to be an organic oil with a component that could not be identified.
Could this really be a miracle? The Pope isn't informed about each and every case. Instead, the Vatican leaves it up to each diocese to investigate supernatural claims. But its standard for designating a miracle is high. In medical cases, a board of 5 doctors must conclude no reasonable explanation exists. And that was the case the last time the church officially acknowledged one, back in 1987. 2-year-old Benedicta McCarthy lay near death from an overdose of Tylenol. Her recovery was designated a miracle when no earthly reason could be offered. But with hundreds of so-called supernatural occurrences every year, the church has its hands full. Father Gregory Coiro of the Los Angeles Diocese says there's a simple explanation for the large number of extraordinary claims.
People are spiritually hungry, and unfortunately, when people are hungry, they will settle for junk food, and that's what a lot of these apparitions are.
Back in Worcester, investigator Dr. Madonna and his team say they are intrigued by their findings so far, and it's still too early to rule out a modern-day miracle.
My gut tells me I'd like to study it more. It is very fascinating and very intriguing.
As long as she's alive, Santo cannot be designated a saint. Incidentally, Pope John Paul II has canonized more people than all of his 20th century predecessors combined. At last count, 280. The last time we saw 17-year-old gymnast Dominique Moceanu, she was in a Texas courtroom facing the most difficult challenge of her life, fighting for freedom from her parents' control. The toughest part of the battle might be over, but there is still some rough road ahead. She spoke with Argina Silva for this extra update.
What has it been like in the last few months for you? Really stressful, really tough.
That's an understatement. In the past 3 months, 17-year-old Olympic gold medalist Dominique Moceanu ran away from home, divorced her parents, and got a lesson in life.
Well, I'm taking all the responsibilities that follow as an adult now. I wash, I pay the bills, I wash my clothes, I wash the dishes, I go get groceries, and I do everything all on my own.
And now she's coming back into the limelight on her own. Last week, Dominique appeared with fellow Olympian Shannon Miller at the Reese's Gymnastics Cup tournament in Tempe, Arizona. While she didn't compete, she did get a workout, signing autographs for hundreds of anxious fans. It was Dominique's first public appearance since December's emotional hearing, in which she obtained a protective court order against her father, Dumitru.
Do you guys talk to each other? No.
So right now you're not in speaking terms?
No, we're not allowed to for a year. Maybe in the long run it's the best thing, and maybe understand one day why and what this was for.
When you were going through all of that, what would you say was the most painful?
Having to go against my father, that was definitely the most painful, because I know it's my dad, and, it's really tough.
And fighting her father isn't all that hurt Dominique. The legal battle has left her with a fraction of the millions she earned in endorsements. But Dominique tells me the fight for control over her life was worth it.
Why did you do this? It wasn't just because of the money situation, was it? It wasn't about the money at all. I could care less. I left it all behind me. I didn't gain anything from doing this. All of it's, gone.
However, the spirit that vaulted her to Olympic gold isn't gone. And now this brave young woman is anxiously looking ahead without looking back.
So what is your next biggest goal? To move on and leave the past behind me and go to school and focus on my training and see how that goes and where it takes me, and focus on my life and the future.
Dominique graduated from high school early and started classes at a junior college this past week. She says she'll juggle school and training for the Sydney Olympics, which begin in September 2000. They're not only our best friends, they feel like a member of the family. But did you know owning certain types of dogs could cost you your homeowner's insurance? It may sound outrageous, but it is happening. Rick Schwartz has the story of one family forced to make an agonizing choice.
They have powerful jaws and bad attitudes. When vicious dogs attack, the results can be terrifying. Washington, D.C., a pit bull chases 2 young boys over a fence onto a car. It grabs hold of one of the boy's legs until finally a policeman shoots it. Attacks like these give dogs a bad name, and now you may have to pay for it.
We got a letter in the mail saying that our insurance was being canceled because we had what they said were vicious or protective dogs.
Catherine Johnson's family includes 2 adult Rottweilers, 2 Rottweiler puppies, and a boxer. She says when the Pacific Specialty Insurance Company found out about them, it sent her this cancellation notice, stating, risk unacceptable. Dwellings with animals of vicious or protective nature where liability is desired are prohibited.
Wasn't fun seeing this, and you got 2 weeks' notice.
2 weeks' notice to find someone else.
Kathy was astounded because her dogs have never caused a problem. They're so gentle, she lets Margaret and the puppies play with her baby granddaughter. But more and more insurance companies are refusing to offer home liability insurance to people with dogs that have aggressive reputations.
The kinds of dogs that the insurance company basically targets or looks at more than others happen to be big dogs, like your pit bulls, your German shepherds, your Rottweilers, your Malamutes, your Huskies. You're taking a look at even the Dobermans and Dalmatian dogs.
Jerry Davies works for the Personal Insurance Federation, a trade group that represents insurance companies. He says it all boils down to the numbers. In 1986, there were 585,000 dog bite injuries recorded in the U.S. 10 years later, in 1996, that number jumped to 800,000, a 37% increase.
A third of all of the claims made to insurance companies through homeowners insurance involve dog biting.
And Davies says insurance companies are tired of picking up the tab for poorly trained pups.
It's about $1 billion a year in insurance costs every year nationwide.
Unfortunately, homeowners like the Johnsons, who have well-trained dogs, are losing their policies too.
Kathy, why not just give up your dogs?
They're part of our family. They're no different than someone's little fluffy dog down the street. They're no more vicious and probably a lot more friendly.
Well, there are a few things you can try if your dog is deemed an insurance risk. Get a letter from your vet vouching for your pet's temperament, or try to get a rider attached to your policy excluding any liability for dog bites.
She's Miss Teen USA, but this young pageant queen is having a dress dilemma. Plus, we'll reveal the one place you may never find George and Jay again. Coming up next in this weekend's
Extra, extra.
It's a violent tradition, a fight that man usually wins, but sometimes bulls are pushed too far.
These bulls are going through a lot of pain, and sooner or later, they're going to rebel.
Raging bulls get revenge. Plus, full-figured and proud of it. Step aside, Cindy. It's the plus-sized model search.
That must be a fascinating article.
You think?
Come on, Marvin, I'm starving. Do something.
Okay, Chuck. Excuse me? Oh, you are a cutie.
Nice job, Marv.
Hey, thanks, Chuck.
Out of my way. It's time to feed the kitties. Anybody hungry?
I am.
Cats know what they want. Whiskers. All that variety, all that taste. Whiskers. Gotcha. What cats want.
What's my meal's pregame meal? Chunky sirloin burger with big chunks of vegetables and lots of beefy sirloin burgers grilled to perfection to fill him up right.
Campbell's Chunky Sirloin Burger.
And then he's ready for dessert.
When you combine Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and crispy wafers, the combination is irresistible. Reese Sticks. The crisp you can't resist.
Coming up, the restaurant gimmick some say is too tasteless, The Woman Who Tames Tyson, and from blizzards to bathing suits, a preview of summer swimwear. He's already checking out of the ER. Now the other place you'll no longer find George Clooney. Plus, we're going gown shopping with Miss Teen USA. Here's Elaine Lipworth with this weekend Extra Extra.
Extra, extra.
Gag order. There's trouble in South Park.
Really?
Yes, Kyle. The Screen Actors Guild has ordered its members to stop providing voices for Comedy Central's hit animated series.
Oh, my God!
You see, South Park doesn't have a contract with the Actors Union.
Mm-hmm.
So, when celebs like George Clooney and Jay Leno lent their voices to the raunchy cartoon, SAG was never paid.
Is that legal?
South Park producers say yes. SAG has no jurisdiction over their show, But Extra Extras learned until the dispute is settled, there will be no more guest stars in South Park. A to-do to die for. From Cindy and Randy to Barbara and James. Wedding bells rang in '98 and the February issue of InStyle magazine has a front row seat for their glamorous nuptials.
We saw a lot of traditions being broken and new ones started.
InStyle's Charla Lohan says supermodel Cindy Crawford and groom Randy Gerber's Bahama Bonanza was picture perfect. A romantic sunset ceremony with 100 of their closest friends. And check out Cindy's skimpy Galliano slip dress. And oi, Barbara Streisand's wedding, like butter. A Donna Karan gown, strolling violinist, nothing but the best for Babs. She and actor James Brolin married at their beachfront estate in Malibu. Every detail for the secret ceremony planned by the bride herself. Want more? Check out InStyle's Celebrity Wedding Special, Monday on ABC. Damsel in Distress.
Every little girl's dream is to be Miss Teen USA.
And it was a dream come true for 17-year-old Vanessa Manillo, but she says dressing the part is a nightmare.
You've got to be unbelievably gorgeous, and you've got to be perfect.
Extra, extra to the rescue. How about a trip to chic boutique Holly's Harp and a private consultation with celebrity fashion stylist Philip Block?
That's like a fairy tale, yes. I'm in love.
Great, well, let's try these on.
Okay, cool.
And the winner is this sparkling lavender gown designed by Amy Michelson. Okay, Vanessa, what do you say?
One more, you just got it.
Extra, extra.
Bullfighting is a sport built on bloodshed. Usually the bull winds up on the losing end, but not always. And some people believe when the bull does get the upper hand, it's for a good reason. But as you'll see, it can be gruesome. Rick Schwartz with Extra's video of the week.
We've all seen these gruesome images before. An innocent bull being tormented, stabbed, brutally tortured. Bullfighting is a Latin tradition, the matador an icon of strength and courage. But sometimes the bulls fight back. Just 3 weeks ago, human blood was shed in Cali, Colombia. Spanish bullfighter Manuel Diaz is on his knees, goading a frustrated bull. About to finish off the 1,000-pound beast, something goes wrong and the bull attacks. The matador is gored in the throat, but escapes with his life.
He got gored. And I got to tell you, I don't feel bad for the guy.
Animal activist Chris DeRose is sickened by what he sees. He says the bull is a peaceful animal that attacks only when enraged and confused.
Men always feel that they're able to match their masculinity against that of a bull. And if they can dominate the bull, it makes them feel more powerful.
But sometimes men lose the battle. Picador Carlos Moraes skewers a weakened bull. But in a sudden burst, the bull flips the horse, pinning Moraes. Men rush in to help, but it's too late. This picador dies of severe hemorrhaging.
These bulls are going through a lot of pain, and sooner or later, they're going to rebel.
Bull's Revenge, a new home video, documents the bulls' desperate attempts to defend themselves. Here, the running of the bulls in Pamplona, Spain. Aspiring matadors get caught up in the frenzy. When a bystander tries to help, he gets charged from behind. But according to DeRose, these people don't deserve our sympathy.
They're torturing an animal and tormenting it for tradition. It's not even tradition, it's for entertainment. It's disgusting.
One Spanish official wants to ban children under the age of 14 from attending bullfights, saying the violence traumatizes young kids. To look at most magazine covers, you wouldn't know the average dress size in America is a 12, but now high fashion is finally taking notice, catering to a segment of the population that's been seriously neglected. As Gina Silva reports, that means new opportunities for a group of up-and-coming models.
These contestants could be the next wave of Cindy's, Claudia's, and Naomi's, with one fairly obvious distinction.
It's the first time anyone has done a plus-size search.
That's right, a plus-size model search, sponsored by the famed Wilhelmina Modeling Agency and Mode Magazine, the first fashion magazine for full-figured women. These contestants, all of them sizes 10 and up, have gathered in the Big Apple for a shot at becoming the modeling world's next big thing.
Mary Thompson from California.
Julie Lewitt-Nierenberg and Nancy Natler-Lewinter are the publication directors of Mode.
These girls are absolutely beautiful. They literally echo the population in glorious examples of what women should look like. Hey there, girl.
And there to cheer them on, a woman whose career has come full circle thanks to her full figure. Natalie Laughlin is the face of Liz Claiborne's women's line and the MC of the event.
I think this year in particular, we've seen like this amazing acknowledgement of the plus-size model and the power that we have.
And that power was felt from Madison Avenue to Hollywood.
Everything they put in, we were ready for.
Cameron Manheim's portrayal of a plus-size lawyer on The Practice has made her a star. And of course, there's Emmy, perhaps the first plus-size model. She recently signed with Revlon and is the host of her own show on E!
Welcome back to Fashion Emergency, the makeover show that keeps the fun in fashion.
Earlier in the day, the hopefuls got a makeover at New York's renowned Vidal Sassoon Salon. The chance to compete is more than a great opportunity. It's a day many of these women thought they'd never see at their size.
You know, I don't want to, go anorexic or anything just to go down to, a size 6, so I thought this would be perfect.
Kind of excited about this, that don't have to be a stick. It would be a dream. It would be a dream come true.
Finally, it's showtime.
The energy is, really high. They're really psyched to go.
But only 3 of these women, a teen, a 20-something, and a 30-something, will take home the grand prize. A $30,000 modeling contract and a spread in Mode.
Ladies and gentlemen, the grand prize winners are Kendra Kirby, Laura Miles, and Faith Edwards.
For Laura Miles, the victory is overwhelming.
I'm most excited about representing real-sized women. I think it's a wonderful opportunity.
Natalie Laughlin hopes the message that comes out of this is that size does not matter.
You know, we all don't have to fit into that one image as what is considered beautiful and sexy. You can be beautiful and sexy and any size.
Thank you so much.
The winners also receive a $1,000 wardrobe allowance and a custom-made swimsuit.
1 second he was riding a wave. The next, Andy Thompson was in the jaws of a ferocious shark.
I just pulled my foot right out of his mouth, which probably was a mistake because it tore the whole top of my skin off.
Coming up, every surfer's worst nightmare, how he survived a brutal battle with Jaws. Chips and salsa, anyone? Steve Vento makes a unique delivery that customers love. Why this waiter's job has some people up in arms when Extra continues.
They mean the world to you. So give them what they really want. Quaker oatmeal. Remember, this is the breakfast they love. It shows all over their faces and all over the empty bowls. This is like a hug that lasts all day. Quaker oatmeal warms you heart and soul.
Good boy, Simon. When your dog is the star of a syndicated comic strip, you get lots of fan mail. Okay, Simon gets most of it. When we ran the strip where Simon snubs his food, people sent all kinds of dog food. I read the labels, and in every bag of Purina One brand beef and rice formula, beef is the #1 ingredient. In lots of designer dog foods, it's corn. So I let Simon try Purina One. I'd say it went over pretty well. Purina One, second to none.
You want incredible color, but you also want incredible hair. Color that lasts and color that's gentle. It's not impossible. It's Hydrience. Incredible color that's incredibly gentle. Its unique water-based color cream hydrates your hair with luxurious, moisture-rich color that lasts and lasts. But Hydrience won't shock your hair. It's the gentle, permanent way to color. So you're a beautiful blonde, brunette, redhead, and your hair is silky and shining. Introduce your hair to Clairol Hydrience. Incredible color that's incredibly gentle.
Steve Vento is short and proud of it, so he didn't think twice about taking a position at a Mexican restaurant that focuses on his size. But some other little people say it's no laughing matter, and they want Steve to find a new job. Rick Schwartz explains.
Chip salsa, come on!
Steve Vento is at your service. He has a smile on his face and, yes, chips and salsa on his head.
Now this is fun.
At 4 feet 4 inches, Steve and his snack-filled sombrero are the stars of Milwaukee's newest restaurant, Nacho Mama's. The restaurant's only been open for about a week, but Vento's stunt is already stirring up trouble.
I didn't expect to get all this publicity. I just came here to have a decent job and have some fun.
Nobody wants to take the, pun intended, food out of his mouth, but we do want to take it off of his head.
Anthony Soares is the Vice President of Public Relations for Little People of America. He says Vento's job is degrading to all short people.
My first comment was, this is barbaric, it's exploiting, and it's a bit disgusting that, that it's being done to make other people laugh. It's not really being done to help the individual.
It's really too bad they feel that way, because to me, I don't feel what I have as a handicap. I think it's a gift from God, and I use it. I love it.
And the restaurant goers seem to love it also. Steve is paid $20 an hour plus tips to wear this fiesta-colored outfit and a hat 3 feet wide, just brimming with tortilla chips.
Next time, bring the guacamole.
They're having a good time. I'm having a good time. Isn't that what it's all about?
Other individuals want to go to that restaurant who are short-statured and not be humiliated or not be asking, if you come in that restaurant, where's your sombrero? Hey, little guy, where's your hat?
Vento's bosses got the nacho notion from this scene in Anthony Michael Hall's 1988 movie, Johnny Be Good.
Ralph, what's up with you, man? How you doing? How's it feeling, man?
Well, Steve certainly isn't ready to quit show business. In fact, he wants to invite his critics to dinner and let the chips fall where they may.
I wish they would all come out and quit being so critical and enjoy your life and make a living. Come on, Chip Salsa. Help yourself.
Well, Nacho Man isn't Steve's only job. He's also a car salesman.
Still to come, he's been jailed for rape and thrown out of boxing for biting. It takes a certain kind of woman to marry Iron Mike.
She's not Hollywood, but she's not caught up in the fame and fortune of it.
An extra exclusive. The brother-in-law of boxing's bad boy tells how Tyson's wife keeps him tame. Plus, it's a problem that can be downright dreadful.
I've always poured like a faucet.
Do you suffer from sweaty palms?
I dread shaking hands with people.
Coming up, years of anguish zapped away in under an hour. But does it work?
I can't believe it.
It began like any other day on the water. This surfer didn't know it, but he was about to become a shark supper.
I jumped right on his back.
On his back? Wait till you hear what happened next. It's an extra survivor story. Blizzards may be blanketing the nation, but in the world of fashion, it's sunny skies ahead.
I think that most people would have an easy time wearing this kind of a suit.
Bedroom fashions hit the beach. Extras unveiling the sexy new swimwear for the summer of '99. This is the weekend edition of Extra. Once again, here's Maureen O'Boyle.
Welcome back. We continue with a menace in the waters off the Sunshine State. There were 19 shark attacks in Florida in 1998. The most recent, a surfer who stepped right into a shark's jaws and somehow managed to get away alive. Les Trent now with his incredible survivor story.
It's nature's roller coaster. Surfing is an exhilarating sport. A sport for young and not so young.
It's fun. It's different. You know, it's something you can't get hurt doing.
New Jersey teenager Andy Thompson is a high school athlete, excelling at macho sports like lacrosse. He's also an experienced surfer, and when he went surfing on a Florida beach during his Christmas vacation, he was thrown into a potentially deadly drama, which he faced with incredible courage. 19-year-old Andy had ridden just one wave at Ormond Beach when he discovered he was riding with a deadly companion. He put his foot straight into the jaws of a ferocious shark.
I jumped off my board, went straight down to the bottom, and where I landed, there was a shark who was just sitting there, and I jumped right on his back.
The shark, a 5-foot sand tiger like this, reacted instantly and aggressively.
As I was jumping, my foot was at an angle so that his teeth just bit down on my foot, and it just felt really strong. I think he let go, and then he bit me again, and I just pulled my foot right out of his mouth, which probably was a mistake because it tore the whole top of my skin off.
Andy could have bled to death. Refusing to panic, he bravely climbed back on his board and paddled for his life to the beach 100 yards away.
I kind of held my hand right here, my 2 fingers, to try to stop that blood, and then I just gripped around the front of my calf like that, so I could stop as much blood as I could.
By an amazing stroke of good luck, Dr. Richard Onmock was vacationing at a nearby hotel and gave Andy expert first aid.
He really wasn't yelling or screaming, and he was, I think he just kept saying, God, I can't believe this happened to me.
Andy's mother, Bonnie Thompson, reached the scene to find Andy worrying more about her feelings than his.
He said, Mom, I'm fine, I'm very calm, and he said, don't look at my foot. Just don't look at my foot, and you'll be okay.
Did you look at his foot?
No.
Microsurgeons work meticulously to reconstruct Andy's lacerated nerves and tendons. Luckily, they were able to save his foot. Others have not been so fortunate. Take a look at this amazing video. A great white shark attacked teenager Heather Boswell in the Pacific Ocean. She was lucky to survive, but it cost Heather her leg. This child was not so lucky. 9-year-old James Talisman was playing in shallow waters off Vero Beach, Florida, when he was dragged to his death by a bull shark.
We only recovered the torso and the 2 lower portions of his legs.
As for Andy Thompson, he now has a shark tooth that is lodged permanently in his foot. But despite the seriousness of the wound, reconstruction specialist Dr. Michael Goldberger says the outlook is good.
The only thing he may notice is some stiffness in his foot.
Andy's going to be sticking to some indoor sports for a while. He expects to be using those crutches for many more weeks. But when his wounds heal, he wants to surf again.
You have no problem going back? Oh, it's going to be hard, but I think eventually. I love the water so much, I don't think I could ever stay away from it.
One of the arteries in Andy's foot was so badly damaged it couldn't be repaired. Doctors say he was just a few minutes from death when help arrived. He was thrown in jail for rape and thrown out of boxing for the bite. So who'd marry Iron Mike Tyson? Apparently a pretty sharp woman. Paul Moniz spoke with Monica Tyson's brother about the woman who tamed Tyson. It's an extra exclusive.
He's brutal in the ring, mean, unpredictable, as this video of last weekend's fight on pay-per-view clearly shows. But few know Mike Tyson's other side, or his supportive wife Monica, who normally shuns the spotlight. But make no mistake, this is one woman who fights fiercely for her husband's honor. Just listen to her describe Mike last October at a hearing to reinstate his boxing license.
He's funny, he's smart, he's
kind of shy sometimes, but he has the biggest heart of anybody I've ever met.
I think that's one of the things that Mike probably likes about her, that she's not Hollywood, that she's not caught up in the fame and fortune of it.
32-year-old Monica is an intensely private person. For the first time, someone in her family, her half-brother Michael, is speaking out about Mike and Monica's marriage.
She's the mother of his children. She's providing a home, and there's a certain comfort in that, stability there.
Brother Michael and Monica grew up in Washington, D.C. He is a corporate lawyer, and she became a doctor, now interning as a pediatrician. Mike Tyson was right there at her graduation from Georgetown, and the two seem happy.
How do these two manage to make it work?
Believe it or not, Mike's very quiet. He's a very, I would almost say shy in some respects. Monica is not quite as quiet and shy. I mean, she's very outgoing, very personable.
But some have asked, what is Monica thinking, especially after Tyson's tumultuous first marriage to actress Robin Givens? Well, Monica is no stranger to men in trouble. Her brother says she had a child by a man now serving time for selling cocaine. Does Monica have a weakness for bad boys?
That I don't know. You know, I've not been in her mind at the time she's met these individuals. If there's an attraction, there's an attraction.
Together, Monica and Tyson are raising 4 children, and keeping their lives private is a priority. But Michael insists his sister is no square.
Does she have a wild side
Yeah,
to her?
sure she does. She likes a good party like the rest of us. Yeah, she really does, and she enjoys her friends.
Monica is also an entrepreneur, launching Tyson's own line of Be Real clothing, which Tyson admits he'd just as soon give away.
My wife's the capitalist. I'm the socialist. I believe we should give it away. She believes we should sell it.
As Tyson looks to the future and his next fight in April, Michael says he can count on Monica to keep him on track.
Right now, the two of them, they're a good team for each other. Team Tyson is a good team of Monica and Mike.
Well, Team Tyson will celebrate its 2nd anniversary in April. By the way, some of the proceeds from the clothing line will benefit a variety of kids' charities. It's an embarrassing condition that affects millions of people, sweaty palms. Now there's a procedure that could cure the problem for people who suffer from chronic cases. Phil Schumann sees if it works in this extra special report.
Shining, glistening, soaking wet. For Nicole Monroe, sticky, sweaty palms made life unbearable.
I've always poured like a faucet.
Even Nicole's 5-year-old daughter, Andrea, hated the touch of her own mother's hand.
It felt yucky.
Becky King sure knows that feeling. She says sweaty palms ruined her life.
You know, it's definitely wet.
I dread shaking hands with people.
Becky and Nicole, among some 5 million people worldwide who suffer from Palmar hyperhidrosis, a genetic disease of the nervous system that causes their hands, feet, and face to sweat profusely and almost constantly. The worst part? No easy solution.
When you went to doctors in the past, what did they say?
They said it's hereditary. We can't do much about it.
But now, doctors say they can do something about it with an innovative surgical procedure that promises to put an end to the sweat forever. In New York, we followed Nicole to her surgeon, Dr. David Seconds. 3,000 miles away in Beverly Hills, California, Dr. Raphael Reisfeld will perform the same surgery on Becky. Here's how it works. A micro camera is inserted into a small cut in the side of the patient's chest.
Beautiful.
Guided by a TV monitor, doctors locate the nerve responsible for the overproductive sweat glands, and then...
we basically zap the nerve.
But will no more nerve really mean no more sweat? Less than an hour after going under, Nicole awakes to the great news. Her years of anguish appear to be over.
I'm dry. I can't believe it. For the first time in my life.
And Becky, she wakes up sleepy, witnessing a similar miracle.
They're dry and warm.
And back at home a week later, Nicole's hands are still dry, and she's thrilled with the results. So's her daughter, Andrea.
It feels better.
It's just like freedom. It's a little thing for the rest of the world, maybe, and but for me, it's like a really big deal.
Well, doctors tell us the procedure is 99% effective. It costs about $4,000, but not all insurance companies will cover it.
She has witnessed the worst side of humanity. Mothers discarding their newborns.
Some have been put into trash cans alive. Some have been murdered first.
Coming up, the woman on a special mission to honor the children.
I just feel it's important to give them one act of love.
When Extra continues.
I know a place. Americans love scenery. We can't get enough of it. We don't care how far it is. We want to see it all. Good thing there's Chevy Malibu, a car designed to take us anywhere and back. It'll actually go up to 100,000 miles before its first scheduled tune-up. That's a lot of vacations and a lot of souvenirs. So take the long way home. It's the car you knew America could build. Malibu, genuine Chevrolet.
I'll take you there. It's a fever, an earache. Every minute she feels bad is a minute too long. Use Children's Advil. So fast on fever, it controls it faster than Children's Tylenol. Lasts up to 8 hours. Children's Advil. It's time our kids feel better, faster.
Size 4 dress, $45. Autofocus camera, $260. 5 generations in one photograph. Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
It's 6:10. Wake her up, Marvin. I'm starving.
Okay, Chuck. Okay.
Will you wake her up?
I'm trying.
Whoops, that's it. No more pussyfooting around. It's time to feed the kitties. Hello.
Hi.
Cats know what they want.
Whiskers.
All that variety, all that taste.
Whiskers. What cats want.
Yeah.
Hey, listen up. Know how you love the great flavor of extra sugar-free gum? Now the flavor lasts longer than ever. So you can enjoy more of life's little extras. Like extra mileage, extra innings, even extra credit. And the flavor will last right through. Extra's flavor now lasts so long, it may even attract some extra attention. So take any extra steps you need to try extra. Why? Now the flavor you love lasts longer than ever.
It's a horrifying trend that happens a lot more often than any of us want to believe. Mothers abandoning, sometimes murdering their newborn babies, then discarding them like trash. While these innocent kids never have a chance, one woman has found a touching way to honor their short lives. Gina Silva tells us about her special mission in this weekend's Extra Up Close.
Jordan was about a week old, and he was found in a trash can on the beach of Malibu by a homeless man looking for food. Nathan was found strangled with his own umbilical cord and found in a trash dumpster in L.A.
Debbie Ferris has seen the worst humanity has to offer. Mothers discarding their newborn babies as if they were trash.
Some have been put into trash cans alive. Some have been murdered first. Some may have been born stillborn and then just thrown away.
After repeatedly watching news reports like these,
That baby was found inside the bathroom.
Police believe initially the newborn may have been dumped in a commercial trash and recycling van like this one.
Debbie decided she needed to do something for those children.
These little children didn't have an act of love that was ever shown to them. And I just feel it's important to give them one act of love. And that's a proper, decent, loving burial service.
And that's exactly what Debbie has been doing for more than 2 years now, opening up her heart to babies she's never met before, spending her time and her money to bury discarded children.
Isn't it painful for you to put yourself through this so often, having to bury a child?
It is very painful, but it's necessary. It's the right thing to do. And it does get harder every time.
Despite the painful experience, Debbie refuses to give up. Every time California police find a dead, unidentified baby, officers call Debbie knowing she will take care of the rest. First, she names the child to give him or her an identity. Then she prepares a burial service here at the Garden of Angels Cemetery in Calamasa, California. To avoid having an empty memorial service, Debbie places an ad in the newspaper. The outcome is usually like this. Strangers showing up to mourn the loss of babies they wish they could have touched in life.
It's senseless because there's so many people that could adopt children, and these babies are just forgotten. They're carried, they're full term, they're healthy, and they're just, okay, don't want you no more. It's like a dog, and that's not right. It's not true.
On this day, 2 babies are being laid to rest. Lyndon was found in a sewer drain by transportation workers. Angela Lynn died 1 hour after birth in a hospital. Her mother just disappeared.
When you think about what's happened to these babies, what comes to your mind?
Just the fact that, you know, they were once alive and just nobody wanted them anymore, and the fact that they're, you know, perfect little human beings and just been wasted away and for no reason.
If you could talk to the mothers of these babies, what would you tell them?
I would want to just ask why. What was going on in your life that you felt that this was your only alternative?
When Debbie Ferris first started the Garden of Angels, she bought 44 plots, hoping she would never have to fill them all. 2 years later, this Garden of Angels is almost full.
It's hard to even think about trying to expand the garden, but that's what we'll do. As long as there's a need, we'll keep going.
Absolutely tragic. If you'd like to make a donation to Garden of Angels, visit our website. On America Online, the keyword is extra. On the web, we're at www.extratv.com. Up next, if you're freezing this weekend, we've got something that ought to warm you up. Stick around.
Now get ready for this weekend's Extra Snapshot. Do you recognize this face? Here's a hint. This NYU fencing champ grew up to be a jewel of a singer-songwriter. We'll expose this Extra Snapshot coming up.
When someone has the time and the ingredients, it's no surprise they cook up a really delicious dinner. The surprise is, voila, so can you. With new chicken, voila. It's all there. Even the seasoned grilled chicken breast. 1 skillet, 10 minutes. Voila. You've never cooked a meal this good, this fast. It's new. It's chicken voila in the Bird's Eye section.
Kids, it's for you.
Au contraire, I'm here to see you.
It's Captain Crunch. He's speaking French.
I'd just like you to try my crunchy sweet cereal.
But that's my kids' cereal. They love it.
Maybe they know something you don't.
All right, just one bite. This is good. It's tasty. Captain Crunch is making sense.
Irresistible Captain Crunch cereal. Deliciously crunchy with just the right amount of sweetness.
I'm falling in love with a cartoon character.
Great taste for adults from an adult, sort of.
Extra Online brings you the latest news, fashion, health and beauty, medical breakthroughs, extraordinary people, and pop culture. Visit us on America Online and the web.
the height of winter, and this is what it looks like across much of the country this weekend. The last thing most people are thinking about is swimwear, but the designers certainly are. Rick Schwartz gives us a preview of what people will be wearing on the beach in 1999.
From shimmering sequins to shapely silver, sultry sirens show off the hottest designs in barely there swimwear at the annual California Swim Mart in Los Angeles. So what's new in 99? Well, say hello to the tankini.
Definitely the #1 silhouette is the tankini, which is really a tank top turned into a swimsuit worn with a little pair of bottoms, or bikini bottoms, or briefs.
Designer Denise Scher says unlike most two-pieces, the tankini lets you control how much skin is in.
Some of them are cropped really high for those who have great stomachs. Some of them are a little bit longer, so it gives the appearance of a one-piece and the coverage of a one-piece without being totally covered.
What about color? Well, believe it or not, the it color this year is gray.
I think gray is a good alternative for that person that wears black.
Swimsuit designer Rebecca Virtue believes gray is also right for women who are uncomfortable wearing a bathing suit.
It's very sophisticated and subtle, and it's dark enough to where she feels like it could, if she didn't have a tan, that it would still look good on her.
Also look for an array of floral prints, dark shades of blue, green, and purple. And designer Ann Cole says white is making a comeback.
We haven't had white round prints or white suits being popular since God knows when. And it's really the new color.
Black, white, one-piece, two-piece, whatever. Now you can get into the swim of things in style.
The tankini will retail for about $40. It'll be available in department stores and swimwear shops nationwide. When we come back, who's that guy in the middle? The answer to this weekend's Extra Snapshot.
In the next 10 minutes, careers will blossom. New journeys will begin. In the next 10 minutes, small wonders can occur, including now, cooking up a great beef dinner in just 10 minutes. How? With nutritious, fully cooked, fully prepared beef dishes. They're in your grocer's meat case. Just heat for 10 minutes and enjoy. In the next 10 minutes, good things are gonna happen.
I ate the first meatball.
Beef, it's what's for dinner tonight.
Kit Kat break. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me up a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Give me a break. Give me a break. I want to take a break with that Kit Kat bar.
Look at you. What a cold. Even your sinuses hurt. You know how Advil gets rid of tough pain fast? Well, Advil Cold and Sinus gets rid of tough sinus pain fast. This is in this, plus a decongestant. That's why they call it Advil Cold and Sinus.
Ah, silence. So would I tell them their beloved V8 Splash is the only fruit juice drink with 100% of both vitamins A and C? That it's actually good for them because it's from V8? Nope. I rather like basking in the glow of this serene, yet all too brief moment. V8 Splash, to help happiness and harmony.
Good boy, Simon.
When your dog is the star of a syndicated comic strip, you get lots of fan mail. Okay, Simon gets most of it. When we ran the strip where Simon snubs his food, people sent all kinds of dog food. I read the labels, and in every bag of Purina One brand beef and rice formula, beef is the #1 ingredient. In lots of designer dog foods, it's corn. So I let Simon try Purina One. I'd say it went over pretty well. Purina One, second to none.
So did you figure out the Extra Snapshot? He's the college fencing star who became the jazz singer. Neil Diamond celebrates his 58th birthday, but he hasn't tired after 33 years of writing and performing. Diamond recently released a CD of classic movie music. He's currently on a worldwide tour which wraps up in April 2000. And that's this weekend's Extra Snapshot. We are out of time, but we leave you now with more of the swimwear that will be heating up the beaches this summer. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you back here next week.